fall again. I think we're cursed to only have fall in the title screen. But it's almost fall, at least where I live, so it'll be like a broken clock sort of deal, you know? Broken clock is right, well, like twice a day, or whatever the saying is. It'll be fall, and we'll be playing Pikmin 2 in the fall, with fall. That didn't make much sense, but what's new? What's new is that we are in sub-level 2 of the subterranean complex. Luckily we don't have to deal with the big old blobby guy. That's only for the other place. But we will have to deal with a couple of, like, swooping beetle guys. I am really afraid of losing my more valuable Pikmin. So Olimar is just gonna take these guys. Louie's gonna stay with the white Pikmin and the purple Pikmin over here. And yeah, just make sure they're alright. I don't want another disaster on my hands. It feels like these rocks are gonna explode on me. Yep, I knew it, come on, watch out! I'm glad I had the foresight to get them away from that rock in time. Oh, got him! Get him! Kill him! Yeah, take that. You know, I'm definitely curious to see if I can throw my Pikmin over the edge. But you probably can. It'll probably also spell their death. So, even though I have a very large curiosity, I really shouldn't. I don't want to make my Pikmin, you know, suffer that fate. Here you go, guys. Take that gear. Back to the ship with it. I don't even want to imagine how much damage this would do to Olimar. Wait. Hey, come here. New gear retrieved. Spirit Flogger. I feel like there's something I'm not quite getting with that one. No, well, check it out, I can push this. Like that. I guess they have to be on the ground for the explosion to actually hurt them. Alright. You guys asked for it. Attack! Pop your balloons. Run away! Take that. These guys actually don't pose that much of a threat once you know how to deal with them. You just gotta be careful for the bomb rocks that they drop. Yeah. Attack! Swarm! Yeah. One down. One more to go. I was watching my friend play Pikmin, or not Pikmin 2, Pikmin 1. The GameCube version. And it's kind of insane to me that you had to play that with a stick. The Wiimote and pointer just seems so natural. And having to like have Olimar face the way you're gonna throw your Pikmin just seems so clunky in hindsight. What is this? Network mainbrain. Kinda looks like a conductor or something. Alright, that was everything on this floor. A victory song. Let's go, leave Louie behind. He can fend for himself, right? And today at work, I went into the cat room, like I usually do during my lunch break, and I got to play. Oh no! What are these guys? Ooh, watch out! Are we surrounded? Ah! Those guys are like ultra bad news. But as I was saying, today at work, I went into the cat room to play with the cats, as I usually do. And I got to play with the sweetest cat ever. I actually kind of forgot her name. It's like, starts with an I. But it was a name that I haven't really heard before. So I kind of forgot what it was, honestly. But she was super duper sweet. She was like one of those cats that you, that has like a bunch of colors all over the place, you know, it's like not one set color or anything. It's kind of like a tapestry of fur colors. But yeah, it was like all speckled and stuff. And as soon as I went into the enclosure, she was kind of, you know, checking me out. And after like a couple of minutes, she just sat in my lap, and it was the best thing ever. She just kind of like plopped herself down between my legs. I was like sitting crisscross applesauce, so... yeah, she just kind of plopped herself down there. And for like a good like 10-20 minutes we just sat there enjoying each other's company. And it was the best thing ever. If I could, I would have brought her home today. Like, she is such a sweet cat. And I feel like I need a cat in my life. But alas, it was not to be. Not today. Super strong stabilizer. That's one way to put it. Here's another spring. Before we actually take on those guys, let me try and get rid of the fire. That seems like quite the liability. There we go. Attack! I am really surprised that they didn't get hit. Yeah, friendly fire! Oh, that's amazing! Yeah, punch attack. Finish the job. Coiled launcher. It's a bit rusty, but I guess it'll do. Treasure is treasure after all. Or one man's junk is another man's treasure. Something like that. Whoa! Almost got my little guy. He's on fire. Let's see. There's one more treasure somewhere around here. In here? Hey, out of the way. I feel like there's gonna be some kind of nasty surprise waiting for us. Ah, here we go. There it is. Oh! Oh. I don't know if that was RNG, like whether I would get like a buggy guy or something, or some nectar, but I'm glad it was nectar that just fell from the sky and not something else. This game actually does quite a good job at raising tensions down here, because you could just lose all your guys just like that. It's really not that hard to just have like a team wipe. Omega flywheel. You'd think that they would have some of these in like the ship and stuff, considering it's a mechanical entity. So the ship ought to know what these things are, bolts and cogs and stuff like that. Although I guess they've never seen any of these things at such a large scale, so maybe that's why they gave them grand names. Oh, check it out. White flowers. I guess these blues and yellows. The yellows don't seem to be as useful as reds. You know, I really wonder if, once these Pikmin are converted into different types of Pikmin, they retain, like, their memories and stuff? Are they the same Pikmin, or not? Something to ask. Something to question, you know? By the way, I'm loving this, like, pluck whistle thing. This is kind of fantastic. So easy. So easy to just get new Pikmin and pluck them right away. I'm figuring we're gonna be needing these guys, so let's nectar them up. Drink up. Slurp. Oh, there's one more flower that I missed, actually. Hey, Meeps, welcome back. Also, hey, Captain Kirby. Nice to see you back as well. How was your week? Okay, that seems to be all of the flower buds or whatever. Come on, guys. You guys get special treatment. Because you were just born. Come on, let's go. Well, I guess that's all there is to it. Well, actually, I was about to say we're just gonna leave the cave now, but this is the way that we have to go, not up. I can really play a lot more of that game, Meeps. I don't know about you, but I'm still having quite a fun time. Doggo, let's go! What kind of dog are they? Watch out. Oh, look at these! I love these! These are like little lights that you use with breadboards and stuff when you're messing around with electricity and circuits. I did this for my computer architecture class when we were programming a breadboard with like a bunch of other stuff and like a little itty bitty like a motherboard and stuff that we had to make do different things. Beep, I love these. These are great. I think I still have them actually. Ooh. Beep. What, you think you're tough? Nah, Mix. That's cute. And do you know what Mixie is? My sister also has a mix. He's a German Shepherd mix, so we don't know like exactly what else he's mixed with. But he's very cute. His little eyebrows. And he's also very energetic. I had to watch over them for a little bit the other day. And yeah, he is definitely a puller. He will yank on that leash with reckless abandon when he's excited. He doesn't really care. It's a bad habit that we need to make sure he drops. But he's also still young. He's barely 8 months old. He's big for an 8-month-old, but yeah, he's still young. I can't say I've heard of a Senji. You stay there. Oh no, run! Oh, that's good. One thing that I really hate about smaller dogs is that they feel the need to bark at everything. Trust me, I used to have a Chihuahua mix. It was a Chihuahua Pug mix, but yeah. If it moves, then they bark at it. And I think it's because they're like, oh no, I'm so tiny, you know. I gotta scare things away. Because I probably can't beat it up. Which I get. But... ah! But yeah, it can get pretty annoying. Treasure! Oh, watch out! Run! It's actually only the demo for Splatoon 3. It's not the full game. There's kind of like a, I guess a network test that's going on right now. I'm not too interested in it though. Like, I bought Splatoon 2 when it came out. Salmon Run was like the most fun thing that they added there. I played like Salmon Run until like 2 a.m. with my friends because it was so addicting. But yeah, not really super hyped for Splatoon 3. I'm gonna skip out on it. My younger sister, she loves Splatoon. So yeah, she's gonna buy it day one, but not me. Yeah, it definitely seems like it. Just a couple of like weapons and stuff. But it's also like, well, if it's more the same, and what you had before was like a fun game that was addicting, you know, not really all that bad. It's just more of the same for people who want it. I am not one of those people though. Adamantite girdle. I always used to think that those like nuts, those like steel nuts, looked super tasty. And I think it because I saw it in some game where it was like some kind of robot or something eating them. It's like a really like fuzzy, hazy memory. I don't know exactly where that imagery comes from. Oh no! Run away! No! They caught him! I've never played Chibi Robo. Maybe that's one of the games I'll stream, who knows? Hey, let's go. Yeah, I think they look pretty cool. I like their design. Except, Fry has a massive forehead, and I'm not sure how to feel about it, honestly. I feel like they should move her hairline down a little bit. But everybody knows that the big man in the house is big man. Let's go. His sneakers. Let's go. Big man stands. Mystical disc. An analog clock. Something that seems to be becoming a rarity these days. Except if you live in like some fancy schmancy house and they're like, yes, I have an analog clock from the 1800s. This belonged to my grandfather. Or probably great-great-grandfather, something like that. Yes. Of course, I believe you, smile. Uh-oh. Quick, get this to the ship. I did it! World record! Repair Juggernaut. I used to have an analog watch. Like some... like leather for the strap. Except it ran out of battery. so I never used it again. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing with watches, though, is that it's instant, you know? And, like, it's also the reason I take my watch to work. Because I have my phone in my pocket, right? And in one hand, I am, like, handling boxes, cans of dog food and stuff, and then also I have, like, my box cutter, right? And then I just glance at my wrist. And that's that. And if I pull out my phone, I might be tempted to read the messages that I get throughout the day, which ultimately slows me down, and I don't want that. Oh, it is a digital watch. It's not an analog watch, it's just a cheap Casio, like, digital watch. But that's what I'm, like, the thing I'm saying is, like, oh, with a watch, it's just, like, right there, right? You just glance at your wrist, boom, bang, you got the time. Yeah, it can be. I don't think it is for me, because I try to get the absolute most out of my time at work. So, like, the way I kind of pass the time at work is that it's kind of, like, it's kind of weird to kind of say, but I kind of try to speedrun it. I try to speedrun work. I try to, so I have my watch, right? And I try to see how fast I can get certain things done at work. So I have a timer that I set, and then, like, whenever I get, like, a new pallet of product, I see how fast I can get it onto the shelf. And whenever we're doing, like, overstock and stuff like that, I see how fast I am at putting all the extra stuff onto the shelves. So that's kind of how I pass the time at work. So it's not really boring for me, because I try to speedrun it and have fun with it. And also during my break, I get to play with the cats, so that makes me very happy. That is a much needed break from hard, or I guess not super hard, but like intensive physical labor. And also, it's also a great mental break to just sit down with a cat and play with, like, a laser toy or, like, one of those, like, stick things, or just cuddle with the cat, you know. It's therapeutic and I love it. I was actually talking earlier about a cat that I saw, and she was so sweet. After we kind of became acquainted, she just crawled into my lap and we just started cuddling. She was so nice. I wanted to take her home so badly. But I just can't. Because unfortunately I still live with my parents, and my parents don't own a cat. And what they say goes. So yeah. I really need to move out. Luckily, that might happen sooner than I think. That's a cute emote. Pet the cat. Well, that also reminds me, I was late today to my own stream because I had to go pick up my brother and sister from my older sister's house. And they were playing Stray. And I think that game looks really cute. I watched someone stream a little bit of it. Not all of it. Just like a couple of missions, but it looks really fun and cute. And also, looks like there's like a really... Oh no, watch out, fire! It looks like there is a kind of depressing looking story going on there. So it's not just like a, haha, look, I'm a cat, like, cute game. There's also like some deeper stuff in there, which is nice. I think that kind of balances out with the cuteness of the cats. Or cat. There's really only one cat that you're really interacting with as far as I'm concerned. Or as far as I know. But yeah, I kind of really want that game too. It looks very interesting. I remember seeing it during, was it like a Nintendo Direct? No. It was like, State of Play? No. Oh, I think it was, Summer Game Fest. Yeah, I think that's what it was. But yeah, I remember seeing it during Summer Game Fest. And... Oh, come back here. And, it kind of took this world by storm, didn't it? It kind of, like, became the indie game of the year. Hey, Moist Man 2. Welcome to the chat. Hope you enjoy your stay. We're just talking about Stray, the cute cat game. The cute cat game that also has like a bunch of interesting story stuff that balances out the cuteness and stuff. Because I went to my sister's house today, and no, they found me. This is so sad. But yeah, I went to my sister's house today, and they were playing Stray, so I brought it up. Rest in peace, those two purples. Don't worry, we will avenge their death. Come here. Let me take out my aggression on these bugs who had nothing to do with it. And there we go. Violence solves all the answers. Well, that came out a little bit wrong. Violence is the answer. Yoo-hoo! Alright, just for good measure, let's get rid of this so we can't get any of our Pikmin poisoned. Now let's, like, ultra murder. Let's go! Squad up! Where are you? How old am I? What? I am 23. I think that's all the treasures here. Vacuum processor. Last one. One of those timer things that you find on old timers. Space wave receiver. Or I guess this could also be, like a stove thing. A dial. That's what it's called. Alright. This floor's clear. Let's go! I'm really glad that the Pikmin can survive falling from such a high place. And have like their little kneecaps intact. And also Olimar. He's actually pretty durable when you think about it. He can get like exploded, on fire, electrocuted, bashed and bruised around, and he's fine. All he has to do is like go and like bask in the light of his ship. You know, sometimes I forget how tiny they are. And then also like force equals mass times acceleration and whatnot. You know, that physics stuff. So I guess if their mass is really, really tiny, then they won't hit the ground with much force now, will they? Yeah, also that Olimar has survived multiple crashes. He's probably built up an immunity to blunt force trauma. Just like, how you can, like, build up an immunity to spice. He just, it's like part of his training. He just crashes his ship over and over again. Then he's gonna have, like, skin made of titanium. Hiya! Yeah, take that. What the heck is this? Whoa, 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 watch out! Oh my god, this is like a sniper on a tower or something, except he's lobbing bombs at us. Attack! Oh no, we've been hit! We've been hit! Oh my god, they're all gone! Well, we got the thing. Wait, are we dying over here too? Oh no! Run! I didn't even notice. I think it's more than one man that's down. Oh. I didn't see it. I really didn't. You know what? This is... I know what this calls for. Wait, there's another one? What? What are you doing? Wait, is it re-getting health? It's just like... Oh, it dies and then like, if you don't take it back to the ship, then it just revives itself. What? Let's go. Take it back to the ship. Go, go, go. Turn it into, like, plant food. There we go. 7 coins. That's what our Pikmin squad was worth. I hope you're happy, turkey thing. Hey, Marcus. How's it going? We just lost pretty much our entire team. Oh! Anyway, how was your week, Marcus? Oh, run! No! Yeah! Take that. That'll show them to mess with us. I say as we, like, lead a shell of an army. 3 little Pikmin. That's all we have left. Out of, like, what? Almost 100? Or 100? Alright. It does look really weird. Although I guess, that's par for the course for Pikmin, huh? All of them look pretty weird. I mean, like, you have a snake with a bird attached to the tip of it. Just like a bird head, you know? Hello, any more surprises for us? There's a roll of tape. Alright. I'm going to assume that we've already defeated all the turkeys here. Sure, a tip is fine, as long as it's not, story related or something that's, you know, just something too big, you know what I'm saying? And also, for tips, I need to ask for the tip. Or, like, you need to ask for the tip. That's why I have these stream labeled no backseating, because it can be pretty annoying when people try to backseat game, you know? So, if you want to share a tip, just ask me first. It's like, oh, you want a tip? Like a thing that you can do here to be more efficient or something. I'll say, yeah, sure. Or, no, I'm good. Indomitable CPU. Is this strong enough to, like, mine some bitcoins? How many apes can I mint with that? Where's the other treasure? My treasure senses are tingling. Oh right, it's the roll of tape. Louie, get over here. There you go, grab that. Even! I knew there was gonna be something there. Can't trick me. Might as well grab everyone. Everyone that's left. Ooh. Furious adhesive. It seems like it would be really deadly for these guys. Because they could get stuck on the tape and just not be able to escape, you know? I'm pretty sure that's a thing for, like, killing bugs. It's like a special, like, sticky thing that has, like, some sugar in the middle. Well, these guys gotta be careful. Where's that much treasure? I kind of feel like it would be buried somewhere, but the surface that we're standing on is made of iron. Oh, here it is. Let me guess, there's gonna be another farm rocky guy. Grab it. Retreat! I knew it! You can't trick me. There's gonna be a second one, isn't there? Nope, I guess not. Subversion of expectation. Oh, this is a cap for treetop apple juice. Thirst activator. I love apple juice. I haven't actually had it in a while. So maybe next time I'm out, which is gonna be tomorrow, I'll stop and see if I can get some apple juice. I actually did stop today and got like 10 bottles of sparkling water, the flavored kind. One of my favorites is coconut pineapple. I haven't tried many of the other ones yet. Yay! Apple juice is great. I'm a big juice guy. Like, I don't drink alcohol. So, most of what I drink is just, like, juice. And also, like, water and soda. But that's more... That's more like, you know, an intermittent thing. A lot of people say that water is plain, but I don't know. It's refreshing, you know? Especially after a hard day at work. I actually don't even bring lunch to my lunch at work. I just bring, like, bottles of water. And that's enough for me, honestly. Alright. I'm guessing that this area is just to... Gross! They're like weird spider things. Oh, that was so unpleasant. Yeah, that's like an egg sac, like bursting with spiders. If you've ever seen that happen, I've seen it happen a couple of times. One of those times was actually, or I guess it wasn't. I didn't see it happen, but it happened at work. So now at work, there's just like a bunch of little itty bitty spiders everywhere. And the other week, like last Saturday, you know, I saw something hanging from my hair, right? So I thought it was just a stray hair. I'm like, oh, that's, you know, just whatever. So I just ignored it. But then I took a closer look and I realized that it was a spider. It like made a web in my hair. And it was like hanging in front of my face for like who knows how long. I'm not that old, am I? I'm growing spiders. Yeah, it was a cute spider. Like, you could barely see it. So I just, I just like took its web off my head and like let it go somewhere. Who knows where that spider is now? Hopefully they're happy. I think they'll have a good time in the pet store too, because a lot of the time you get crickets that just kind of escape their enclosure, because we have like a big old bin of crickets that people come to get like crickets for like their like lizards and stuff, whatever needs. But ooh, look at that new jelly. But yeah, so they're probably going to be eating pretty good. They're going to be eating all the crickets that escaped. The purple drop you see contains refined ultra bitter essence. One drop contains 1 dose. Use it on hostile creatures. Approach the creature and press 1 to spray. I have tried it, yes. Slurp. Oh, do you work also in a pet store, Moist Man? Or do you just like work outside where you see a bunch of crickets? Not all of the eggs. I think so. So I guess this is as good as we're gonna get in terms of flowers. Oh, a facility. I mean, crickets live pretty much everywhere as long as there's enough, like, grass and water, right? There's a ton of crickets at my house. Sometimes they get inside, so I gotta, you know, scooch them out. I gotta, like, poke their butt and make sure that they jump outside. A couple of months ago, I actually ate crickets on stream. Like, I didn't have, like, a camera set up or anything, but I just let the audio go. Because I went, on vacation, and one of, like, the novelty items that they had in the gift shop was, cheese-flavored crickets. They also had, like, bacon-flavored, but I chose the cheese flavor. And my official rating is a 6 out of 10. They didn't really taste like anything, but they were nice and crunchy. Hello. Yikes! Oh, great. It's a mechanical version of this thing now. Oh, watch out! Oh my god, run! Watch out, we're taking fire! Run, run, run! Watch out, he's got a gun! No! We've taken casualties! We've taken casualties! Not gonna lie though, the like cartoon like shooty sound is pretty hilarious. I'd enjoy it more if my Pikmin weren't dying, Would have been great to have more of my Pikmin flowered up, but what can you do? Take that. Yeah. Woo! Come on, you can do it! Super move! He's almost down. We can do it! Come on! Attack! The final push! Kill him! Kill him! No! Watch out, he's gonna self-destruct! Yeah, we got a light bulb! Now my room won't be so dark. A mechanized monstrosity is no longer functional. An insect and a machine forming a symbiotic relationship. Life forms here are beyond odd. Initiating area scan. Glass sphere detected. Yoo-hoo! Oh man, that's a perfect light bulb. Look how clear and round it is. Stellar orb. If I combine this glass sphere with the synthetic sun I have been secretly developing. Processing complete. I have manufactured a solar system. The artificial sunlight it emanates will brighten underground areas. Well, you know, just craft a solar system just casually in my downtime. The technology that these guys have at their disposal is absolutely insane. We already learned from Pikmin 1 that Olimar's ship had the power to delete suns. Like, you could just blast suns out of the sky and make them like supernova or something like that. And now we're just like creating actual like galaxies and stuff. No big deal. Oh, you're right. It wasn't an insect. Only 4 legs. No, he didn't blast the sun out of space, but it's mentioned in one of the vehicle part descriptions. In Pikmin 1, he says like, this has the power to like destroy stars. And it's like, cool, yeah, that's fine. Oh no! These guys can go back in. Their numbers aren't very high. And also the purples, I love the way they walk. My bad, guys. Yeah, he's like a... yeah, basically a doomsday ray. Just like shoot stuff into oblivion. Oh my god. We're gonna have to bolster our numbers again. How many blues do we have actually? 105. Okay. Reds. 137. Actually, that's not that bad. Even though we suffered catastrophic losses, we still have a pretty healthy amount of Pikmin. Actually, we need a lot of yellows. We only have 46 compared to like the hundreds that we have over here. Ah, maybe moist. Maybe I'm just taking it too literally. They're like, oh my gosh, he actually created a solar system, but he just turned on the lights. That's nothing new for me. That's something that I actually have a bad habit of doing. Just taking things too literally. It's not my fault, I just don't realize that people aren't being serious sometimes, you know? Yeah, we're rolling in dough. Even though we're technically still in debt. Yeah, it is pretty funny. Especially like the names that they give to like everyday objects. They're so dramatic. Olimar, you'll soon be promoted to manager. Only a small bit of debt remains. You've done great, as have I. No one dodges debt collectors like I do. I'm a pro. He's so proud of himself. Who knows where he is? Maybe he's still under the bridge. Yahoo! It looks like there's one more cave that we can explore there. But, we actually spent a lot of time in the perplexing pool already. Let's go to the Awakening Wood and see if we can find that last hole. Or maybe we can go to the Bulblax Kingdom, because it says we have 0 treasures there, so... I really want to get more Bulbin. They're so cute. I love them so much. They're just like little strawberries with like little leaves on their head, you know? Hey, thanks for the follow, Moist Man. Really appreciate it. Oh, that's probably overkill on Blue Pikmin, actually. Alright, guys. False alarm. Go back to bed. I don't want to take out too many yellow Pikmin because their numbers are still pretty low. Actually, this is a good opportunity to bolster their numbers with these guys over here. Sneak attack! Oh, I never saw it coming. Alright, guys. Time to take over the world. Let's build this bridge. I actually don't really know how far I've explored. Oh no! They're dying! Attack! Don't let up. No, guys! No, come back! Never mind. What are they doing? I can't see. Oh no! Oh! Run away! No! What a travesty! No, I can't bear to listen to them die. I'm sorry, I'm a bad parent. Yeah, time to bulk up blues. Oh, also, this is a good place to farm for the super spicy spray. There's 2 trees, just like right next to the ship. Oh, they're trying so hard. They're still dying. They're still fighting. Maybe we can save some of them if we act quickly enough. Let's go, let's go, go. Let's do a thing. I'm running in circles. You guys do that. Here I am saying, oh, maybe we can save them if we act quickly enough, and I'm taking detours. Ah, here they are! We saved one, at least. Attack! Kill it dead! I'll finish him off myself. Take that. Wait, did they actually... Look, they killed it! I don't believe it! Look at these guys! These guys are like, you know, coming back from the war. They're telling their stories to the next generation. I'm proud of them. Yeah. They deserve the like, you know, the blue Pikmin medal. The blue heart, something like that. Now we'll use the corpse from the enemy to procreate. I probably could have, yeah, but I kind of panicked. There we go. Yellow. This one yellow Pikmin just carrying that. Darn. Oh, hey, come back here. I'm gonna steal your egg. Sweet, sweet nectar. I wonder what it tastes like. Probably honey. Although, it feels like it would be less concentrated, less thick. I wonder if people have actually, like, drinking, like, flower nectar. There's probably something fairly obvious that I'm missing with regards to that, like, oh, don't you know that this is flower nectar or whatever? But whatever. Oh, look at that! Louie helps with punching too! Yeah, throw hands! Double trouble. Get the berries! I'm sure it does. I really want to try the different flavors of Mountain Dew. I've really only tried regular Mountain Dew, and that's kind of a shame. I want to try the other variants. Attack! Punch him! Kill him! Yeah, take that. Yes! Our army is strong again. Let's see. Blues. I think blues should take this. Actually, no. They can take this one. There we go. Blue for the blues. probably isn't going to be an eventful day in the grand scheme of things. But I need to recover from my Pikmin losses. It's like a bad financial day. Stocks ended low today. Let's see if we can make a rebound. After this, we'll go tackle another cave. Whoop! Hey guys. Get out of here. You're in trouble now, bucko. Eating my berries? Out here in the wilderness? Eating the berries that I do not own and I did not plant? This is my territory, pal. Alright. After these guys bring this back, I think that's gonna be enough. We'll just, plunge right back into the depths and risk our lives for more money. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've had fruit gushers. Fruit snacks I've actually had somewhat recently. It was like a couple months ago. We got, what are they called? Those Black Forest, gummy bears or whatever, or fruit gummies. Gummies are so addicting, man. Whoa. Hold on, let me... There's one... Okay, here he is. But... I think that's it. Alright, let's go... Actually, let's see... Let's see what kind of Pikmin we need before we jump headfirst into it. Oh, I already did that one. Are there Pikmin gummies in Japan? Man, Japan always gets all the cool stuff. Oh, look at that. Only fire. Oh, actually, we already did that one. Kind of, sort of. Where's the other one? The whole of oh, okay, this one. The Bull Black's Kingdom. It's actually near the ship. Ugh. Gotta go back around. I'm pretty sure in Japan they also have like vending machines for everything. They have like meal vending machines where you could get like a box of ramen, like hot ramen, with like an egg in it and stuff. I want a vending machine like that at my work. I don't even have to pack any lunch anymore. Oh, here it is. One thing, like, when you mentioned, like, all the cool stuff that Japan gets, and, like, the fruit gushers and gummies and stuff, I was thinking about how I always wanted to have rupee candy, because rupees look so delicious, even though you're not supposed to eat them, because they're like rocks, right? You can only eat them if you're a Goron. I really want, like, rupee hard candy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be totally fine if it was just like like a Jolly Rancher knockoff, but just a rupee. I would, like, buy that in a heartbeat. Might as well. Right? I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. Ooh. This is a dangerous area. I guess I should have expected it, considering that this place is called the Bull Black's Kingdom. I.e. Bulborb. But still, it is pretty intimidating. Uh-oh, run! Oh my god. Still trying to get us. Totally has a treasure too. And they have a really big range. Let's hide in the corner until they... Wait, is there something here? Like some kind of incline. These guys have a huge range. Look, he's just now settling back down. Yikes! No! Alright, this is a job for the big boys. Come on, Olimar. We don't need to endanger our Pikmin. Hey, you guys stay here. Alright. You guys come over here. And... here we go. Olimar, come on. With me. To arms. To victory. We need the element of surprise. Go to sleep. Never mind, he's not going to sleep. My children, you wait here while the men go off to war. Take that. Yeah, think you're tough, huh? You're nothing. Punch! Punch! Outmaneuvered. Too slow. Get with the times, Grandpa. Easy. Easiest fight of our lives. Yeah. Olimar is actually going to be the new guest character for the new Punch-Out in 2050 when they remember that Punch-Out is a thing. And just for the heck of it, we're going to carry the corpses back just as a sign of victory. Did you see that Nintendo fan who bought like $30,000 in Nintendo stock just to ask where's F-Zero? And they gave him the whole like, oh, we don't have any ideas for it. You know? Very sad. Crystal Clover. Oh, actually, that was the only treasure here. That means we don't have to engage with the other guy at all. See ya. Well, yeah, it was kind of sad. But also, like, dang, that person had $30,000 that they were just, you know, willing to put into basically what amounted to a meme. I don't know what they expected out of it. But they just had that much money kind of just lying around. You could have bought a brand new car with that. That's how expensive that is. Attack! You could have done that too, yeah. You could have just made your own F-Zero. I'm pretty sure... that's kind of sort of a thing. What's it called? Fast RMX, yeah. I'm pretty sure that was a launch title for the Switch. Way back in the olden days of 2017 or so. Come on, guys. Over here. Grab the thing. Guess not. Good thing I have yellows. I could probably make it. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, I accidentally called them back. I'm pretty sure this is not the way you're supposed to do this, but this is the way I'm gonna do this. Yoo-hoo! Alright, now we got the blue Chaos Emerald. I feel like this is a cave that we probably should have explored first, considering that, you know, it's one of the starting areas. And it seems to be pretty quick. I don't even remember which cave I started with, actually. This is bad news. It seems like there's nothing around here, but I know better. There's dangers waiting around every corner. Like here. Take that. Bully them. Give them what they deserve. That's what you get for laughing at us. Congratulations, you get death. Look at these little grubby guys are the ones that don't actually attack you. Would be a little bit of a nightmare to manage both of these guys at once. Let's see. Considering that I don't actually need yellows or blues in this dungeon, I am going to convert these blues into white Pikmin. Seems a little bit counterintuitive considering we lost so many. But it's for the greater good. I'm sure they don't mind. I still don't understand why only white Pikmin can dig. It seemed like within Pikmin 1, how only yellow Pikmin could dig. It seems like they have like the same means to be able to dig. Like they just use their like little leaves or whatever, right? So it seems like they should all be able to do it. We need to teach all of these other guys to like flip their hair at the ground and uncover secrets. Yoo, check it out. Finally something that kind of makes sense. Something that probably would be buried down here. A fossil. And if I remember correctly, this is Omanite, the spiral Pokemon. All we gotta do now is take it to the professor at the museum, and we can get our Pokemon. Olimar Knight Shell? What? Did we just invent, or quote-unquote invent, a new substance? Well, I guess it's the ship that does, huh? Not something I would name it, you know? But to each their own. If I ever make a discovery, I'm gonna make it a really, really stupid name. Just so that, scientists have to refer to it by its said stupid name. Like Blingle Blup Bippy, you know? Of course, it's still gonna have its scientific name, but who wants to say that? Yeah, like ego much? Or if you were like a king back in the olden days, you just had other people name stuff after you. Oh, I conquered this place. Well, time to name it like Charlieville or whatever. Jamestown. Aren't I awesome? I totally did this. Smile. You know, kind of funny that they said that, oh, there's a red there, there's a red there. Kind of funny that they said that we would only need fire Pikmin, and we ended up needing all of these other types of Pikmin. Now, I'm not the smartest, tool in the oven, but I think that might have been a trick. There's nothing in here. Okay. Just a random cubby. Gold guy! Kill him! Yahoo! Eek. I always found it pretty unfair that these guys can't get caught in the crossfire. Like, they can't get electrocuted or lit on fire and stuff by other enemies. Crystal King. No. No. That's embarrassing. Losing so many Pikmin to just this one little froggy guy. Good thing the boss didn't see that, otherwise he would probably, like, reconsider our promotion to manager. Although we are playing as Louie, so I guess all of the fault falls upon him. Olimar had nothing to do with it. Honestly, I hope Pikmin 4 has Olimar as the CEO. He really deserves it. Unknown merit. It's a coin. go. Let's go, everyone, to the next floor. So I was having some trouble falling asleep last night because I drank coffee. I had like an iced coffee before bed, which was a really bad idea considering that I needed to get sleep so I could wake up early for work. But it was just so tempting. Iced coffee? Come on, man. But anyway, I was having a bit of trouble falling asleep. So I decided to play some DS games. And I started playing a DS game that I never played before, which is Diddy Kong Racing DS. Diddy Kong Racing DS. And I don't know, it just kind of made me sad because it's Diddy Kong Racing except worse. Like the controls are worse, the sound is worse. I guess the music is worse. And it doesn't have banjo, so that made me kind of upset. It does have some cool ideas, like, you can make your own tracks, which is super cool, and you can also, like, upgrade your cart and stuff, which is something I always enjoy, just, like, customization and upgrading and stuff. But yeah, I felt so soulless, which made me sad. Or, not soulless, I would say, just empty, you know? Not necessarily without soul, but just like a husk of its former glory. Because Diddy Kong Racing is one of my favorite games of all time. I played so much of that on the N64. I still have it, actually. Anxious Sprout. Now I really want like a proper HD re-release for the Switch or something, because Diddy Kong Racing is such a great racing game. It stood apart from Mario Kart in the best ways possible. Like, you could stack your power-ups and stuff. And like there's the multiple vehicles, which is something that like Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform kind of picked up years later. It would be cool to have like the same gimmick where like you go on different terrains and then your vehicle changes accordingly. That would be a super cool like way to streamline Diddy Kong Racing. But yeah, just kind of a disappointment. Yeah, and I'm kind of upset with Rare, honestly. I know they're like doing Sea of Thieves, and that's something that they just, you know, have a lot of passion and stuff for, which is like good for them, you know. That makes me happy that they're you know, working on stuff that they want to work on. But at the same time, it's like, you guys have Banjo-Kazooie, it's been so long. You saw the reaction to Banjo and Smash, you know, it was absolutely insane. People still love this series. I would buy a Series X just for a new Banjo-Kazooie game. I don't think they realize how much power Banjo has. They really just need to do something with Banjo and do it right. There was also the I guess spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, Ukulele, but I just heard mixed to bad things about it. I haven't played it myself, but I heard that it was just... It suffered from Banjo-Tooie syndrome, where they just kind of made stuff big for the sake of being big, and that's really not a good design philosophy. That can only take you so far, and the worlds are just going to be empty, so... Yeah! Fisticuffs! Oh. Olimar's taking damage. Oh, Louie's hit! Olimar's hit! Oh, Olimar's dying! Olimar's dying! Olimar, you need to rest. Louie will take care of this. Take that, and that, and that. We sacrifice the damage, because we're only one captain, but we gain more control over our position. Hey, it's a tactical advantage. This is so silly. I love it. I love doing this. Oh. Over here. Nope, over here. Yeah, take that. You guys think you're tough too? Yeah, come get some. I mean, you say like a giant beast, but we have to remember that these guys are like, what, a centimeter tall, something like that. Ooh, you missed. Sorry. Missed again. Too bad for you. Yeah, that's true. Size is relative. He's like doing a potty dance. Look at him. Just turning around on the spot. Take that. This might not be the fastest way to defeat these guys, but it's the safest way. Oh, at least for our Pikmin. Not so much for the captains. But I value my Pikmin much more than my captains. They're just little guys trying to do their best. They don't deserve to be chomped to death. Louie kind of deserves it. After all, it's his fault that they're here at all. Alright, guys. Yo! Every rib in my rib cage is broken, my kneecaps are busted, I lost like 50% of my blood, but other than that, I'm okay. Let's press on. I really want to watch a like Pikmin punch only run. That would be fantastic. I don't know if it's possible though. Alright, guys, get the thing. Move this thing. Move everything. Looks like you need some help. Ooh, this is actually very intricate and pretty. Eternal Emerald Eye. Is this skull a treasure? Gross. That's like monkey treasure. I'm pretty sure that I saw a health bar flash when that bomb went off. Well, there's probably something under here. Raise from the dead. Monkey. There we go. I guess not. I thought I saw something, but I guess that was just like the meter for the bomb going off or whatever. Is this my skull? Did I misplace my skull again? I hate it when that happens. I hate it when I forget it at home and I need it for work. Colossal fossil. Let's exchange some yellows for some reds. Would probably be helpful in the grand scheme of things. This is probably going to be the last floor that I'm going to do, because we're coming up on our stream time limit. It's, yeah, just about like 10 minutes or so. Yeah, and we would have streamed this game for 2 hours. Also perfect, look at that, final floor. Olimar, you stay here. You're like barely alive. You can take a day off. I'm gonna take my red guys and go kill a thing. What's up? Eee! I remember this thing, I think. Yeah, that's where I know this guy from. Also, he owes me like $5. No, got crushed. Wow, that was really fast. drooling everywhere. Is that an action figure? That's cute. My initial report indicates that the giant Bulblax spat out some sort of object. It looks fascinating, but its drenched in that creature's internal juices. Disgusting. Oh, don't roll your eyes at me. I'll store it for you. That was so fast. World record! At least a PB. At least for me. There you go. Carry it all back. I'm actually curious to see how much this boss is worth, because we've only encountered 2 of these guys, like, ever. I think there's a fire guy that we also encountered. But yeah, these things are decently rare. Yoo-hoo! Forged Courage. This material has perplexing properties. I will try fusing it with the spare spacesuit. Processing complete. Success. Behold my latest invention, the Scorch Guard. Thanks to the heat-resistant alloy, the suit is now impervious to fire. Nice. Now we're immune from all the hazards. Well, I guess poisons can still hurt us, but... fire and electricity. Also, that was not a lot of coins for that thing. It was like, what, 15? Uh-oh. Oh man, I should have kept more of my blue Pikmin. I only have 3. There's no way that that's enough to get that from here to here. Or maybe it is. If I like throw some purple Pikmin over there, let them do some heavy lifting and then save them from drowning. Who knows, it could work. Don't drown! No! There we go. Now, all I need to do is get them to disable these fire geysers. Wait. Here. Write this for me, yeah? Oh. Oh, don't drown. No. That was a bad idea. Yup. Just stay there. Oh, you're right. They can just carry it around the water. What am I even thinking? Oh, get that. Hopefully they're smart enough to do that. Wait, there you go. Yes, they're smarter than I am. That's amazing. Yoo-hoo! thought I was gonna have to come back here. And, bring, like, some blue Pikmin, but no. Good job, guys. You're collectively smarter than a being like 10,000 times your size or so. I'll just wait for them to do that. And then I'll puppy dog guard the exit. It's the optimal play. Yahoo! Gyroid bust. This is, yeah, this is what gyroids are based off of. From, what's it called? Animal Crossing. Yeah, it's like these, like, little clay dolls that apparently get buried with people when they die, so I think we just accidentally dug up someone's grave. Oops. Look how far Olimar has fallen. Grave robbing? I thought that was beneath him. Oh, you're right, we did get a skull. Alright, 10 out of 10 treasures. Yoo-hoo! We got all the monies. Mission complete. You've earned 10,000 Pokos. Now Hakutet Fright will be prosperous and debt-free until the end of time. Probably. Prepare to blast off. We return to Hakutet triumphantly. Yoo-hoo! Let me guess, we're gonna get like shot out of the sky again? Oh, the Pikmin! Bye! I knew it! I knew something was gonna happen. We forgot Louie! You know what? He's probably fine there. Yeah, he's fine. I think that's a suitable punishment. Wait, is this like real life footage? Look how mad he is. I'm guessing this is the bad ending for not collecting all the treasures. Louie gets left on what is presumably Earth, even though they never say that it is Earth. It's definitely Earth. Part 1 ending? Oh no! Oh, I thought this was the end of the game and like the rest was just going back and getting like a bunch of treasures that you missed and stuff. And that's why it took a long time, because you had so many treasures to collect. Oh, okay. That makes sense. You go back, to see more old places, huh? No, watch out, don't fall. Oh, look, special things. Look, Duracell, Treetop, Sunlook. They have all the brands here. Hey, we only lost one Pikmin to electricity. We gotta go save Louie from himself. He's probably gonna eat something poisonous. Oh wait, he's coming with us this time? What? Oh my god, that's amazing! Okay, I want to see that. I need to see him on the battlefield at least once. Let's go, Wistful Wild. Also, I love his voice. Our ship is gold now. Oh my gosh, we're decked out. Look at that. Mr. President, you've arrived. My scans indicate this planet is still heavily laden with treasure. We shall make Hakotat Freight the golden, indisputable king of deep space long-haul freight. Then everyone will be gaudily clad in gold, like me. No, I'm unique and beautiful. Yes. Olimar, I must ask that you take extreme care as to not insult or endanger our president. For now, where could Louie be? To be stuck on an uncivilized planet with no food at all. I am concerned. You must waste no time in finding him. Oh, check it out, yeah. Oh, that was loud, I'm sorry. Look how he runs. Turkey thing, let's punch it. Yeah, you wanna throw hands? What? Oh. The first thing that happens to him when he gets on the planet is that he dies. We're rich! Oh! He never got to enjoy his wealth. Permanent retirement. He's just dead. Look at him. It's okay. It's okay. There. Now we're both dead. Fair and balanced. Yeah, Olimar, you must protect our president. He just dies immediately. But anyway, that's gonna be it for Pikmin 2 for today. That was so much fun. Uh oh. Well, that was so much fun. Next time, next Saturday is gonna be a new game that I'm gonna play. Who knows what it's gonna be? I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna just have to show up and figure out with the rest of us. Or the rest of chat, I guess. But yeah, next Saturday, new game, plus more Pikmin 2. And tomorrow, actually, we're gonna do another full Sunday stream after like a couple months of not doing full Sunday streams. Tomorrow is going to be Okami HD and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. 2 games that we're also almost done with. So that means voting is gonna open up pretty soon for those 2 slots. So yeah, stick around for that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you hopefully soon. So yeah, see ya.